Yo, it is Unlimited Awesomeness 2.0, episode 1. Corey, the Catalyst, is here on my show. Stay tuned. I'll see you in a second. Unlimited Lifers, are you ready for the show? The show is brought to you by the Unlimited Partnership of ULA and Utah. Unlimited Life Academy, unleash the awesomeness inside. Without further ado, here's Jay Chantalancy, aka the Motivating Moderator, ready to start Unlimited Awesomeness Sessions. Let's go. Yo, he's back. It is Unlimited Awesomeness Sessions. I apologize that I'm late. No excuses here. Just accept my apologies. But I have a special guest today, and I'm like super stoked about it because I call him Corey the Catalyst. And you will understand why, because I owe this man so much of my growth, so much of what I'm doing is attributed to this amazing, generous person, this soul, and I want to bring him on. But first, let me read you his bio here. He's a loving father, generous in nature, motivating in character, and the catalyst for many of us and others to rise to confidence. He is Coach Corey Gulick. Look at this handsome man. Woo! Creator of several successful Facebook groups, including Facebook Group Explosion, and of course, the group you're in now, the Unlimited Life Academy. He grew several other groups to 1,000 plus members in 90 days or less. He sold $4,000 in 24 hours with one Facebook post, not two, but one. And he will be speaking at the DFW Business Marketing and Growth Mastermind in March of 2020. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, oh man, I'm so stoked for this right now. Can you tell? I'm like hella excited. I'm just gonna bring him on. Coach, how are you? Coach Corey, how's it going?
Man, awesome. So excited to finally be on one of our members' shows, right?
Yes!
So super excited, dude. That was an awesome intro. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So I'm really excited to be here, dude. This is gonna be awesome. Like I'm super stoked, especially because it's you, right? Like you are the motivating moderator, the day one, bay one, as they say, right? So
awesome,
thanks so much for having me.
No, I wanna actually start the show off with so much gratitude because not everyone knows, the genesis of how I started off going live, on how I started off with my movement and all this stuff. So like I mentioned in the intro, it's because of you, Coach Corey, because of your group, because of your 30-day live challenge that has changed my life, for tremendous, amazing, awesome reasons. And I was never the guy to show my face, go live on Facebook and use this powerful platform until one amazing synchronistic day, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, this post comes up on my Facebook feed and says, hey, join the Facebook Group Explosion and take the 30-day live challenge. And right at that moment, I was actually thinking about doing something because I've been having this burning desire of sharing my story, right? But I was always afraid of what people might think. I was always afraid of judgment. I had no confidence in myself. And some people tell me, like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, you should see me from the beginning. I was not like this, right? We've all had that transformation. It's because of you and your group. But I got into the 30-day live challenge. I took it. And day after day after day after day, the confidence was like going like this, and then, and I saw you comment and post and, reach out, you're doing a good job, and everyone else was so supportive. And then now here I am, Utah movement, got my own show, blessed me by being an admin. Like, I got all these amazing opportunities, connected with such amazing people, and we're here today. And it is all because of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. With everything that I have, Coach, you are just, it's been such an impact in my life. And I just want to say that. And I know I tell you this all the time, and you're gonna be modest because we've already had this conversation. But I just need you to accept it and be like, all right, cool, thanks, man. So
well,
thank you.
Yeah, I totally accept that, man. And again, like, I'm so proud of you, and I love seeing your journey because just like you said, I was there for day one, right? I mean, I was there watching you go live for the first time, and you still had that awesomeness inside, like you always talk about.
Yeah.
But like you said, you were kind of afraid to kind of just get it going, right?
Yeah.
And to see you on that journey through like that 30-day challenge, dude, you're a prime example of what the 30-day challenge can do for somebody, right? So,
yeah,
dude, like I said, I'm super stoked for you. I know that we've had calls in the past, and with all this kind of stuff going on, we get busy, but at the end of the day, like, we still know where we came from, and that's truly like an honor for me to say that I've been that big of an impact. Not me. The group has been that big of an impact on you, right?
Yeah.
I opened the door to opportunity, and you walked through it. Like, I can't take credit for that, right? It was you. So.
Well, just take credit for it today. Just for today. Just take credit for it. But man, I really want to get into this whole journey that you've been, blessing us with, this whole Facebook group. I know you're slowly trying to step away from your 9 to 5, getting into this whole thing. You're doing your first speaking gig, right? In March, dude. Which is like, oh man, that's like my dream too, like to have this speaking gig. So I want to literally break it down on how that came about. I know some of the story, but I don't think everyone else knows. But I'm super stoked. I'm gonna really try to make it out there, on that in an event. So let's start from the beginning. What's the origin story of Mr. Corey Gulick that made him, do all these amazing things? Where did it all start, man?
So basically, I actually, it's funny, I did a live earlier today. It was like an hour long because I tell my whole life story, right? And I know you were watching it, which is awesome. So I went through a whole bunch of crap back in the day, 2008, and basically I read the book, The Alchemist, right? Which is one of your things that you talked about day one of the 30-day challenge that you took. And I think that's what really kind of connected us instantly, right? Mm-hmm. But that book kind of talks about seeing science and all this kind of stuff. And this is a long time ago, 12 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew I wanted to be a speaker at that point because of all this stuff that was going on in my life. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do anything about it. For whatever reason, I was just like everybody else, self-doubt and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't do it. But I mean, I moved down to Texas to kind of start my life over right after I went through all that shit back in 2008. Mm-hmm. And I mean, no joke, I'm living at my sister's house because they kind of brought me in because I was basically homeless at the time. And I remember going out. She lived up on this big high hill here in Texas, and it overlooked this lake off in the distance. And I remember going out at nighttime and literally practicing speaking as if I was at an event, right? I'm up on this hill and I'm okay, this is my stage, and I'm working the room and just practicing. I'm this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the means to be there. I was still working a job. The job I had at the time, I was only making $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. Now I've been able to progress in that job, which was awesome. And finally what happened was my wife got pregnant, and I was man, I want to be able to provide my wife and my daughter a life, that I feel like they deserve. And I needed to do this. So kind of just made that decision then and there, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on it. And then I basically spent the whole pregnancy just trying to learn as much stuff as I could, reading .com secrets and all that kind of stuff, and getting into ClickFunnels and Build-A-Raw. And then I basically just started growing Facebook groups around different niches, right? Uh-huh. And doing stuff that just came natural. I never took any courses, never read any ebooks or followed any gurus or anything like that. I was just doing stuff that was coming natural to me. Mm-hmm. And then what happened was right around the time that I grew my third group like when it hit like 1,000 members, all of a sudden I started getting all these people asking me like, how do you grow your group so fast and stuff, you know? And then I was trying to work with them like one-on-one, and I was giving hints here and there, but because they were in other niche groups, I can't like just sit there and talk about group growth in these other groups, right?
Right.
And that's when I had the idea for Facebook Group Explosion, which is where the 30-day challenge originated.
Yes.
And I started that group just to help people grow groups, like show them, like give them my secrets of how to grow groups. And we grew that group to 2,000 members in 80 days.
Wow. We did. I know. I remember.
Yeah, because you were part of the journey, right?
Yeah.
The challenge was a huge part of it because you know, people that go through the challenge, like first of all, you know, it frees them, right? Like you go on this transformational journey, you free yourself. Like I always talk about like the elephant, the circus elephant, right? You break that chain, and then you're just free and you can't go back. But then they want to go out and tell people about it, so it just naturally, like people were just flooding in. And then, of course, you know, I got my profile shut down and had to transition into this group. And that was kind of a big, ugly mess. But here we are, you know, 2,200 members in this group. We finally surpassed the last group that I'm no longer an admin of. But we're just getting started here, you know. So with that being said, I mean, that's how I made my name, right? Like, and it fell in my lap. Like, I wasn't trying to be a Facebook group growth expert or whatever. People were just proclaiming it for me, and I was accepting it. So I ran with it, you know. And
that's amazing.
The stuff that I teach works because I mean I use it to work. So you know, I know that it works. But
it definitely works. So I want to go back to when you were in that field and you were like practicing, you know, speaking and like understanding this is what you had to do. So you're literally visualizing.
On a whole new level of it.
So because you know, us marketers, us entrepreneurs, I think that's really important when we start businesses, when we start our movements, when we, you know, start to break away and, you know, share our messages. Like we need to visualize the impact and what it can do for others. So you were in this space, visualizing, speaking, and then literally like talking with people, and you could see everything. Was that what was happening at that moment?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny because, like, I mean, I go deep into this, right? Like, so I don't necessarily believe in like the whole laws of attraction, but I do believe that you know what you focus on, like what you think about, you bring about, right? Like that just is natural. But like literally, like I'd be standing on that hill, you know, and I'm looking down, and there's all these houses, so that, you know, picture all these lights, right? And I'm picturing in my head that these are like, you know, people holding up their cell phones, videotaping me, or taking pictures of me, or whatever, you know, like, I mean, I go like deep into it.
Right.
Because that's, you know, like I said, that's kind of where I want to go. Like, that's where I plan on taking this. And that's my ultimate goal with this group, with Unlimited Life Academy, is to provide that platform for other people like yourself. You know, like you just said, you want to be a speaker. Well, I can guarantee you the first time that ULA throws their first mastermind, where it's like our mastermind, you're getting on stage, man. I'm telling you.
Yes. That's amazing.
Like, that's what I want with this group, is I want to provide people that were just like me, that were just starting out, with, you know, with no personal brand or whatever like that. Or even if you do, that's fine too. But I want to be able to help the little person, the one that's just getting into it. They don't know where to start, and you know, maybe they can't grow their own group that fast. Right now, you've got 2,200 members in here. That you can use to leverage, you know, to grow your own group and grow your own personal brand. If nothing else, get comfortable on camera just like you did, you know, like this is freaking awesome. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like I said, and since I took the 30-day live challenge, I've been going live for the last, I think, 150 days plus, you know, like consecutively every single time. And I have to be honest with you, and a lot of people know this too. Like I was being comfortable in speaking in my own groups. I mean, when I say speaking, going live in my own groups, but I was still kind of on the fence about going live in my personal profile. It even took me maybe like, I don't know, 60, 90 days after to be like, okay, I want to kind of open up, be vulnerable, share my vision with those that I know, like, that really know me, you know, like it was kind of freaky in a little bit. Do you have any, like, you know, I know some people out there are feeling the same thing, you know, because they have their own, like, their groups that they feel comfortable in, but if on their own profile, do you have any, like, advice for those people that do want to do that and take that next step into, you know, doing it on their personal profile?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like the biggest thing, I mean, the biggest thing, period, right, is mindset. So it's hard. It's hard to deal with the naysayers and like the people that doubt you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you know, you got to put yourself first, right? Like, what do you want more? Do you want to go out there, chase your dream and get it someday, or be stuck in this little comfort zone where you think people like you, but honestly, they don't really like you because you're afraid to go live in front of them, right? Yeah. So for me, what I would say is just forget about them, right? Forget about the haters, you know, and naysayers, because a lot of people, like a lot of our friends on Facebook are actual life friends, or what we would call, real friends. Right. Yep. But they're going to be like some of your biggest haters. Like, this isn't you and blah, 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 blah. And you just got to cast them aside, like, I mean, either defriend them, right? Or just tell them, hey, listen, like, I appreciate you, putting your input in, but I would appreciate it more if you don't, right? And I had that very conversation with a bunch of people for my personal profile. Like, come in and they're just like basically heckling you, right? And I'd be like, listen, dude, like, I mean, I understand we're friends from high school or whatever, but like, we're not like friends, right? Like, we're not hanging out on the weekends or whatever. If you don't have something nice or value to put into this live, if you're just going to heckle me, dude, like, you can get lost. Right. No sweat off my back. Yep. So that would be my thing is, well, first of all, man, like, that's the beauty of doing like the 30-day live in this group, right? It builds up that confidence. You get all kinds of encouragement. There's not a single hater that's in this group. And if there is, I will kick them out. I guarantee it. Yeah. Because I don't have time for that, right? Like, this is about awesome people doing awesome things, just like your show. Yeah. So, if that does happen, I'll kick them out. No biggie, right? But you can come in here, do the 30-day live challenge, get comfortable, get confident, and then go do it on your personal profile, right? And then kind of deal with those haters later. Because now at least you got that confidence in yourself that you're adding value to people's lives, and you'll see that inside of this group. So start there, and if you are brave enough and bold enough and don't care, then go do it on your personal profile. Like, what's stopping you? Go do it. Yeah. Awesome advice, because I did it, and then now I'm going live every single day on my personal profile, and it's been life-changing, game-changing. A lot of people reaching out, you know what I mean? Like, some hecklers, but like I said, it doesn't sweat off my back. It doesn't really bother me, but I'm more focused on the people that I'm impacting and reaching out because they feel the same thing. Like, I'm making a very solid positive impact, right? Helping them get over whatever they need to get over. Yeah. So, like, I know when I took the 30-day challenge, did you know how impactful like the live feature was going to be? Because I remember, even in the, like, right when I got done with the 30-day live challenge, you went on live telling me about, like, we're on this wave, right? This wave of like riding this live platform wave that you can like utilize to, grow your business or your message. Like, did you already know that, like, foresee that, or was it just like you saw the trend happening and you're like, we need to get on this shit right now? Like, yeah, no, I mean, I saw it. Like, I guess if I'm understanding you correctly, like, was I predicting that Facebook Live was going to be like the next big thing, right? Yeah, absolutely. Because you got to remember, when it comes to social media, it's all about keeping people on the platform. And it's all about, like, you got these companies that are fighting, right? You got Facebook and YouTube are the two big things, right? Yep. And YouTube, because of the way that it was structured, it's all about videos. Now, they've tried implementing like a chat feature and all that kind of stuff, similar to like what lives are doing, but it's completely opposite, right? Like, if you're straight up just doing videos, YouTube is the way to go. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that Facebook started doing these lives where you can now go live, right? And interact with those people that are in your networks. Yep. I knew it was going to be more powerful than YouTube, on the sense that you're going to be able to build these relationships just like we're doing, just like everybody in the challenge is doing, right? Like, you can see the people that are getting the most out of this group, the people that are getting the most out of, EULA right now, are people that are actually doing the 30-day live challenge. Yeah. And the reason is everybody's getting to know, like, and trust the people. Like, and that's all there is to it. So for the people that are out there that are in the group, they watch the videos and they're interacting, they're commenting or whatever, but they're not doing the challenge. it's like a whole new ball game. It's a whole nother level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like being in a group and seeing what's going on is one thing, right? Then starting to interact is like the next level where you're starting to kind of know, get to be known. And this is exactly what I've done to get where I'm at, right? Like I got in groups, saw what was going on, and then I started posting, adding value. I started knowing who I was from that. I didn't get to do lives in other people's groups because it's usually a no-no in most people's groups. But that going live does take it to that next level. So it builds your personal brand. So I definitely knew it was going to be a big thing for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. And now you have like an army of people that are going live because you've influenced them and impacted in a way that it's like changing their lives. Like Jerome Shaw said, changing lives with your lives, man.
Yeah,
when he
changing
said that,
lives one live at a time.
Yeah, one live at a time. I was like, man, that's
dude. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get him to like record, like give me a voice recording of his intro because it is so sick, man. Like,
I know.
He just spits it like it's nothing. Like,
I know, right? I know.
What's going on right now?
I know, exactly. I keep telling them, man, like, that's why I was like, you need your own show. Like, talk to Coach Corey, man. Like, your wisdom is just like on another level.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to, I mean, he has his own show.
Yeah, he does. But before I was like already talking to him. I was like, come on, man. Like, you need to, like, your lives are just very, very solid. Like, I love watching it just because of things that he says. And it's like, comes out like flowing water. I'm like, where's this dude getting it up from? It's just like amazing. But let's segue into this, business marketing and growth mastermind. So how and you're gonna do it with some big hitters, right? Blake Newbar, Rachel S. Lee, like there's like Kim Dang, like, and you've already interviewed some of these people even in the ULOG group. Yeah. So, like, how does that feel for you? Like, that you're just going to be there shoulder to shoulder with these, like, people,
Dude, yeah. So, I mean, this is, like, mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
Because this is my trajectory. This is exactly what I want to do. And just like anybody else that's out there that's starting, like, you got to begin with the end in mind. My end game is to have my own company that's throwing these big masterminds with me being the speaker on stage or being a speaker on stage, right? In order to get there, though, you got to position yourself. And this is kind of where I'm transitioning into now. So this is what I'll be talking about at the mastermind is like how to build your personal brand and kind of get inside the inner circles, right? To make connections, like you said, like interviewing these people.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's crazy because, Blake Newbar, I mean, he's huge. He's, done over $10 million, I think.
Yep.
Like through ClickFunnels kind of, stuff. There's another guy, Akbar Sheik. He's like a 3-time 2 Comma Club winner.
Wow.
Jeremy, who's now like a partner with me on Unlimited Life Academy. Like we got a lot of big plans for this. He's a 2 Comma Club winner getting his award this year. He's going to be speaking. And then, James Smiley is freaking huge, man. Like, first of all, Blake Newbar and James Smiley have both worked with like the people that are on Shark Tank, right? Like Kevin Harrington and all these kind of people.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like huge. Like they're and James, if you don't know who James is, like I mean, he's put together $100 million deals with like AT&T and stuff like that. Like negotiate these deals. So
wow,
he is like huge. So how did I get there? Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, seriously, like. I came back from Tribe of Buyers, and like I said, everything I do is with intention, right? I don't do anything with like ill intention. So it's not like I'm trying to do these things to manipulate people or, whatever. I don't know what you'd say, I guess, or I don't know. All I'm trying to do is brand myself, right? Yeah. So Tribe of Buyers was the first live event that I did. And I know when I got back, or on my way back, I was doing a live and I was kind of explaining to people, everything begins with getting outside of your comfort zone, right? Like that's rule number 1. And that's why this challenge is so powerful because you can take it beyond just doing these Facebook Lives. Yeah. Going to an event like that where you're going to be in a room of a couple hundred people. So like Tribe of Buyers was like 200 people, right? And they're all in the same niche. Like we're all trying to make money online or whatever. But there's some big players in the room and then there's some small players in the room. Yeah. So where do you want to position yourself? Do you want to position yourself with the small players? Or you want to position your big players, right? So my intention, like when I went there, I didn't even care about what they were going to talk about on stage. That wasn't why I went, right? I went for the networking.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, because, Adam, like that whole tribal buyers thing is basically about growing Facebook groups and monetizing it, which I know pretty much how to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I got there with the intention of, I want to scope out the scene, figure out who the big dogs are, and then make those connections,
Mm-hmm.
And then day one, as soon as they asked the very first round of questions, like, hey, if anybody's got a question, step up to the mic. Guess who was the first person up out of the seat?
Yeah. Make yourself known. Make your presence felt.
Exactly. And guess what shirt I was wearing?
Yeah, Living Lifer. That's what's up.
And it's like, guess how I introduced myself?
Yeah.
I'm Coach Corey.
Yeah. Love it.
It wasn't just Corey. It was Coach Corey.
Yeah.
Because, at that time, I already kind of started making my name known in the industry, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And there was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 people there that knew who I was already. Like they were like seeking me out, trying to shake my hand or do whatever, right? Get pictures taken and all that kind of stuff, which was super cool. Like that's like the coolest thing in the world, right? Like,
right.
To network with people like that you're talking to on here, like the first time that we meet in person is going to be like a super cool experience. But anyway, there was 190 people in there that I didn't know, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And so I introduced myself that way. Everybody kind of chuckled, about it or whatever. But from that day on, this was day one. This is like a Thursday, from that day on, everybody's calling me Coach Corey, and it's like I literally branded myself at that event. And and that was like a huge part of it, right? So other than that, getting the interviews, like leveraging a group, obviously bigger influencers don't mind so much coming in and doing an interview with you if you have a decent sized group, right? Like 500 plus, like 500 minimum, right? To get any kind of decent size influencer or whatever you want to call them to come interview. That's another beauty of this group. Like when you are doing your lives in here, like nobody's stopping you from reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I got a show in a group of 2,200 members.
Yeah.
You want to come do an interview. And you're going to be like, hell yeah, dude, 2,200 people, let's do this.
Yeah.
know? So, so that's something that I didn't have. Like, I mean, I grew my own groups, but up until I grew my own, I didn't have that.
Yeah. Let me stop you there 1 second because I need to touch on that point. And when you had a live, maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks back about that, like, just encouraging us to utilize the group, to get interviews, and the way you even, taught us how to just ask, because, if you just ask, what's the worst thing they can say is no, right? And that's what I started doing. And I remember you even posting on one of my interviews, I think it was Chanel, because she was like a 7-figure earner, and you were like, how did you get these, interviewers? And I was like, the same thing you taught us how to do. Just go out there and ask and leverage the group. And that's exactly what I did. And now like this whole Awesomeness Sessions 2.0, I have like so many interviewers lined up because I'm using that specific strategy. And that's why I call it 2.0, because I'm trying to rework my whole show around that, and bringing on some amazing I have authors coming on. I have people that have courses. I have people that touch on all different types of niches and things that they want to share, and of course they're amazing stories, right? And I'm like super stoked. And you're actually kicking off the 2.0 version of this show. So this is like so perfect. And like I said, you continually like give us so much value and give us so much encouragement to do it. And now I'm here, and now I have interviews booked up until the end of February, Coach. Until the end of February. It is crazy.
You're doing a show every week with a
different person
February.
Until February. And I'm just beyond stoked.
Dude, that is so awesome, man.
Yeah, I've been having like these amazing interviews with them, like to get to know them, get to know who they are. And then now I'm gonna bring them on into our community, to provide more value to our members. and you know, to help inspire and motivate, just like how you've been doing, you know, on the daily basis. So, and I remember you going to that Tribe of you know, Buyers show, and then you were like going live every single day. You're even bringing on people, like getting them interviewing, getting them comfortable
Exactly.
with doing live. Like, that's
And
amazing.
exactly. So again, going back to what I was talking about, like, right, everything I do is with intention.
Yeah.
So after that first night, I'm going around the room because this is kind of like the people that were just staying in the hotel. So I knew these were like the closest network I'm going to have, like people I can reach out to at all hours of the day or night, right? So at the end of that day, all I did, I took my phone and I was like, hey, I got a group of 2,200 members. You want to come on and do a live with me real quick? You know, oh yeah, sure. You know, whatever. And then I'm just like, I'm lining out these like little 5-10 minute interviews. But again, they think you're the coolest dude in the world because like you're doing lives with them in your group of 2,200 members, or at that time it was like, you know, it was probably less than 2,000 members, I guess, maybe at the time, maybe 9. Yeah, it was, because I remember I wanted to hit 2,000 members while I was there, and I ended up hitting it like the day after I got back or something.
Right.
So it was like 900 and some members while I was there. But anyway, you know, again, it's all about positioning, right? And one of the guys that I did, I think his name's Michael, right? Just started the 30-day challenge.
Nice.
So, you know, I mean, there it is. It's like sick. It's all about, you know, positioning yourself in an ethical way. Obviously, like I don't try to do anything unethical, but but again, I'm there to, you know, make a statement. And then that being said, everybody that's watching needs to do these live mastermind. You need to make it to one, whatever's the closest one that's going to be to you. Do whatever you can at least to get to that one. If you don't have, you know, the means maybe to travel across the country or whatever. But when you go, let me give you a few tips real quick.
Okay.
All right. Tip number 1 is you want to be the first person up in the morning and the last person to go to bed. Right. Nice. That's like the biggest thing. Tip number 2 is act dumb. Like act like you don't know anything. Right? Like everybody at these things wants to be the expert. They want to, you know, grow their personal brand. And if you sit there and just listen to them, right? Listen to them spill everything they got to you. One, you're going to get a whole bunch of good information because they probably know what they're doing. If they're there, there's a good chance that they are, you know, in the expert area, right? 2, they're going to think you're the coolest person in the world because people love talking about themselves, right? And whenever somebody lets you talk to them and they listen, you know, and you're listening to them, they're just going to think you're the coolest person ever. Like, oh, they'll go around the event saying, hey, man, that guy is like the coolest guy in the world, like, you know, whatever. And really it's just because you're willing to listen to them, right? And let them talk about themselves. They'll say, I had the greatest conversation with Jay, you know, or with whoever. And it's funny because, again, like, it's not even a conversation. It's you just letting them talk. You know, you can take mental notes or literally sit down and just write out your notes of what you're learning from that person, right? And then from there, you know, like I said, make a name for yourself. Any opportunity you get to stand up in front of the room and ask a question or something like that, do it. Like, don't hesitate. Do it. Be the first one up at the mic and be the last person at the mic, right? It's always about being first and last, right? Like, it's not like Ricky Bobby. If you're not first or last, you want to be first and you want to be last. Like, that's how it goes, right? And that's exactly how I played it out. So, like, the very last day, very last round of questions, I waited until, because there's like lines, you know, at that point there's lines of people that are wanting to ask questions. I waited till they started dwindling down, and then I popped up and got on the mic. Last question, right? So, and then at that point, I really tweaked some things and kind of went into my story and all this kind of stuff, like, because they're trying to get that emotional you know, connection, response, and all that kind of stuff, trying to get them to buy into you, right? And then because of that, I made a ton of friends from people there. So I mean, you've interviewed some like major people, some major players, and I remember all of them because I watched them all, and I was like, dang, he's doing it, you know what I mean? And I can already see things happening, and like this whole, you know, business marketing and growth mastermind thing is like already happening. So like, have you envisioned, like, since you know since you were listed to do this, like, have you been envisioning how it's going to happen? My speech.
Yeah, your speech and how and what you're gonna say, what you're gonna wear.
Are you kidding me?
Like, are you?
Are you kidding me right now? Dude, all day, every day. Like,
all
that's
day,
all I
every
think
day.
about. I'm like, I mean, I'm at the point now where I mean, I feel comfortable speaking, period. Like, and doing the lives is definitely a big part of that. But I've never like really put together a speech other than like my best friend's dad's funeral, right? Like doing the eulogy at that. But now I find myself like starting to research like how to do a powerful speech and all that because I want to like, get people to drop their jaws, and be like, that was just the best speech ever. So I'm definitely doing some research, but I'm thinking about it like all day, every day. How do I start and where do I go and blah, blah, blah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the site right now. I'm sharing with you. You guys, the link is in the comments. If you have the time, if you want to invest in yourself, I know I do. I will try to make it out there for sure. I mean, look at the lineup, though, and there he is. There's my coach right there.
Yeah.
First line. Woo! Damn, that's amazing. Oh man, this gives me so much like joy. I don't know why. It's like, man, this is gonna be amazing for you. I could already sense, the excitement and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So how did that meeting come up? Like, what were you guys talking about? Like, who decided? Like, okay, Corey's gonna be on it. Like, what? How? Tell me how that was.
That's that's the true secret right there, right? So when I came back from Trial Buyers Live, I was on fire. I'm like, I'm looking up at Andrew Cruzy and like, I mean, this dude, he like that event, which my events can be nothing like that, right? Like they had a huge, like a big ticket sale at the end of it where it was, they had a couple packages, like $25,000 package and a $50,000 package, and it's like a year-long coaching program kind of thing. We're not going to have any of that big upsell. No pitch, right, at our event. But when I got back from it, or when it got over, I'm thinking about it, and they sold over $1 million in that one weekend, right? Like getting people to buy these $25,000, $50,000 packages.
Wow.
And Andrew Cruzy, for the whole, like the 4 days that it was, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So 4 days that it was, spoke for maybe an hour and a half, like the whole time, right? Like jumped on stage for 10, 15 minutes here and there and did like a half-hour presentation. And at that point, I said, that's what I want to do. That's who I want to be, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily making the $1 million in 1 weekend kind of thing, but just being the person that can just jump on stage, fire the crowd up, get them feeling good, and then let other people do the actual like speaking and all that kind of stuff, right? So I get back, and I remember I came back on a Monday, so Tuesday morning, I reached out to Alan Dean, who's my partnering on this, right? Because he lives local. He's like 20 minutes from me where he lives. And I know that he's making a name for himself with like ClickFunnels and all that stuff. And he's interviewing a ton of big name speakers, right? So I reached out to him and first thought was, hey man, you want to go in together and do a quick, like a 10 to 20 person event and just teach like online marketing kind of stuff. Like just real basic, like let's just keep it plain and simple, small, maybe charge $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, you want to meet for lunch? And he's like, yeah, let's do lunch. So went and met him for lunch one day. We sat down, and by the end of that lunch, it went from being this like nice little intimate 10-person event to like 150-person event. And let's see if we can get all these people to hop on board with us. And then it just started happening, right? Like he reached out to some people, I reached out to some people, and next thing you know, everybody's like, yeah, dude, let's do this. And so basically, I guess, long story short, if I couldn't get invited on stage, I decided to just make my own stage, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Love it. So you're making your own stage. Man, it's gonna be your first speaking gig.
I know.
Are you kind of scared about that? Like, do you have any like jitters? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be completely I'm nervous. It really depends because like right now, the tickets just went on sale today. We've already sold a handful of them. So really, it's gonna come down to who's gonna actually be there, right? If it's gonna be like a bunch of people from this group or a bunch of people that I already know in the circles, that go. I'm probably not going to be so nervous just because of the fact that they see me going live every day. I do have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be sharing there that I don't really, share, but So that would probably be a little bit easier. But if we get to a point where we have to do some kind of like local marketing or something, because that was the other thing. Like we originally planned on reaching out to just small businesses in Fort Worth, right, and like not even going across the country or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if it was like local, I'd probably be a little bit more nervous because it's people that don't know you. So now you're kind of like, you're trying to prove yourself on stage in the hour time that you have to talk. So
yeah.
But I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little nervous. Obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Do you have any like type of routines before you go on? Because I know, Tony Robbins is like jumping on the trampoline. He's like drinking his drink. Like, do you have any things planned before you go on stage?
I mean, I don't really have any. I know when I was at when I was at Tribal Buyers, that was the only event that I've ever been to, right?
Okay.
So they taught us something called breath work. Okay, and it's a way to just kind of like, breathe, a special way of breathing, I guess, that's supposed to like help you get more in tune with your surroundings and calm your nerves and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably do something like that. But honestly, like, I mean, I don't have a routine because I've never done it before. So, but whatever I do this time, if it works and, I knock it out of the park, I will probably add that to my routine for next time. Right?
Yeah. So are you already thinking about your next speaking gig? Is it already lined up, or can you give us some secrets?
Not lined up yet. But I mean, being the first one, I got to see how this one goes, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, everything's a learning experience, just like just like anything, just like doing your first live, right? Like your first live can be pretty shitty, but it gets better as you go. Everything's a progression, right?
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. And what I'm learning right now is there's so many people that want to like start here and then just magically end up over here, but you have to go through all these little steps along the way, right? Like it's the natural order of things, right? Like an acorn doesn't become an oak tree overnight. It takes a long time to get there. So I mean, we'll kind of see, but like right now I'm already thinking like I want to do the first EULA, like speaking. So this event, because I'm partnering with Alan, this is kind of a collab. So we're both co-sponsors of the event, right? Like Unlimited Life Academy is a sponsor, as you come on the page.
Yep.
And then Digital Agency, which is his thing, is the other kind of bigger co-sponsor because that's our things. But again, everything I do is with intention, and that was my intention with doing this first one. Again, if I'm not going to get asked to be on stage somewhere, I'm just going to create my own stage, right? And that's what I did. And the beauty of that is now I get to be a big sponsor of this event. That's my event that I'm throwing, So everybody now these big name speakers, James Smiley, Blake Newbar, Akbar Sheik, Jeremy and Angie and Kim and all these, Melissa, trying to make sure I don't leave anybody out. But all of them are going to be promoting this to their own groups, to their own email list, right? And every single person that goes through that funnel is going to see Unlimited Life Academy. So that's branding, right?
Yep.
And then going forward, I get to add that to my resume, which is like the biggest benefit for me is now I'm a speaker, right? Like you're not a speaker until you get on stage and speak. Like, you can put it in your bio that you're a speaker or whatever, but you're not a speaker until you actually get on stage and speak, So you're not a professional speaker until you actually get paid for it.
Right.
So, technically we should be able to make a little bit of money on this event, by the time everything's all said and done, because we're paying for everybody's lunch. We got some VIP seats that are like, for people that want to go out and have dinner with us. We're going to have 7 people, which I think there's only like 4 or 5 tickets left for that.
Wow.
But they're going to be going out to dinner with me and all the other speakers.
What?
And it's just going to be a good time. We're paying for their dinner, and it's going to be like a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I should be able to make some money, in which case I could say that I'm like a professional speaker, right?
There it is.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah. Wait, are you going to have someone like do a B-reel on you, like when you're speaking, so you could use it as your marketing thing? A lot of speakers have their like 3-minute videos, signature talk.
Yeah.
With them like on stage, pictures of them. Are you gonna have like your entourage of people? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We'll have like a whole videography and photography group there. Like Blake Newbar, he'll probably travel with his anyway. So he videotapes everything, and that's part of the stipulations too. Is that as a speaker, we have rights to all of your material. So any kind of videos that he does, we can just take those and use them in our own promotional stuff.
Wow.
So that's going to be huge. So he's going to have his own. We got our own. I know there's other speakers that are coming that they have their own. So will it be documented? Hell yeah, it'll be documented. And we'll probably end up having we'll probably have it all professionally recorded. Like I said, like the actual day event, and maybe sell that after the event. Like if you want, access to it for however much, I don't know what, but yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. Again, if I do everything with intention, that's my number one intention of doing this for sure, is the fact of, being able to put myself out there and add to my resume kind of thing.
Awesome. Well, Coach, it's about 4:00. I know you have to go, so I'm going to go through this real quick and then end with one question. This is only part 1 because I was late, so I know we're going to have a part 2. So look out for the part 2. We're kind of it was all my fault. I wasn't as prepared. Things happened. So
let me stop you real quick. Are we even live in the group right now?
I think so. Yeah, we are.
I don't think so.
I think so. We are. So here, I'll give you the link right now.
Your screen?
I'm sure. It's showing live, and I could view it on Facebook right now. Yes, we are. But I think what's happening is because I scheduled the StreamYard, that it's showing like it's live yesterday. Because I'm looking at it right now, and it says yesterday instead of today.
Yeah, because I can't even find it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, it's all good. Because
I'm like, we're not live in the group.
No. I understand. Because I think it's StreamYard's thing right now. So that's why I was like, there's no comments, there's nothing going on. I caught in the middle of it. I was like, something's up. Something's not right now. So don't worry. This is, like I said, there's a part 2 coming, and I'll fix it and I'll see what's going on. But let's go with the rapid fire questions, and then we can end it there. Is that cool? We got one more minute.
Rapid fire? You want me to give you a 1 minute response or less?
Yeah, just one response. You don't have to do anything else
really
more
quick,
than that.
Short and sweet.
All right.
Yay.
Question number 1. Who has recently been a major influence in your life?
Oh, shit. There's so many people I can't name them all. Right now, you.
What? No way.
Right.
Come on. All right. Hands down, what's your favorite song?
Favorite song is All the Above.
All the Above.
I don't even know who sings it, to be honest.
All the Above. Okay.
You gotta listen to it. I'm sorry, I'm not making this short and sweet, but it starts off tell me what do you see when you're looking at me, trying to be what I'm destined to be, and just listen to it. All the Above.
Gotcha. All the Above. Got
Mayo
it.
Or something like that. Or, I don't know.
What is your go-to snack?
Go-to snack?
Yeah.
Reese's anything. Reese's peanut butter cups, Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advertisement or advertisement?
Advertisement.
Advertisement. Okay. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed. Last question of the interview. Coach Corey, what is your definition of awesomeness?
My definition of awesomeness?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Awesomeness to me is just whatever, man, that's a hard question, bro. 'Cause I say awesome all the time.
Yeah, I know.
And to unleash your awesomeness is just that pure, that joy, excitement, happiness, kind of all balled up into one, right? Awesomeness is just all the beautiful, wonderful, happy things, right?
Yeah.
Is what I would say, I guess.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for your time. I know it's been short, but like I said, we're going to do part 2. I'm going to figure everything out and then get this going. There's always going to be hiccups in something you start new, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Just consider for other hiccups.
Right.
But, if you're on the replay, #replay, tell us what you think. Put the comments in there and get with it with this new show of ours. Tell me what you think. We're going to have some more amazing guests. Like I said, everything's booked out till February of next year. if you want to invest in yourself, go to the digital, mastermind with him highlighting it. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to try to go out there. And with that said, guys, always be grateful, think positive, and stay awesome. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
See ya.
Peace. Unlimited Lifers, hey, thanks for tuning in. Unlimited Awesomeness Sessions. I'll see you on the next session. And don't forget to turn on your notification. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out our other show lineups. Amazing people, amazing content. And I'll see you on the other side of fear.